Jamaica, a massive diplomatic storm just broke wide open. A storm that has absolutely nothing to do with local crime and everything to do with a highly classified agreement signed behind closed doors in Washington. It centers around a single phrase: third country nationals. To put it plainly, the United States is currently undertaking a massive aggressive sweep to deport and remove undocumented migrants from its borders. But instead of flying them straight back to their home countries, a newly leaked US diplomatic note revealed something provoking. It claimed that Jamaica had willingly offered up its own soil to act as a processing zone, a transit camp, if you may, to temporarily house foreign nationals being kicked out by Uncle Sam. When the news broke, the Jamaican public went into an absolute frenzy. Leaked reports suggested the island could be forced to take in thousands of non Jamaicans. The backlash was instant. Media houses went wild, and the question on every Jamaican tongue was immediate: did our government just compromise our national sovereignty? Did the US just secretly buy a piece of Jamaica to fix their own immigration crisis? Now, when you look at what our ministers are saying versus what the US documents claim, there's a disconnect. To understand how deep this ant's nest goes, we have to go back to mid-June. It started with a whisper in the press. The Gleaner newspaper dropped a bombshell, reporting that a secret Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) had been signed between Kingston and Washington. The public was blindsided. Within 24 hours, the Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, was forced to step up to the podium in Parliament to confirm what the media had already uncovered. Yes, the deal was signed on June 10th. Yes, Jamaica was officially in the transit business for the United States. But the real chaos didn't come from the announcement itself. It came from what the government didn't say. As immigration attorneys and human rights groups in the US and Jamaica began digging, it seemed like a massive red flag emerged. Critics pointed out that transferring one nation's expellees to a completely unrelated third territory under what legal experts call a shadow docket, an emergency expedited system, was a legal minefield. In fact, a US federal court, Judge Brian Murphy, had already issued a ruling in a case known as DVD versus Department of Homeland Security, declaring this exact third country removal policy unlawful. Yet there was Jamaica signing on the dotted line, and the question is asked why. Now let's talk about the text that started it all. The thumbnail in this video said a leak for a reason. The entire nation panic didn't start with an official government press release. It started when details from an official US Embassy diplomatic note in Kingston were leaked to the press, completely contradicting the narrative being told at home. According to that leaked diplomatic note, this entire deal wasn't a heavy-handed demand forced upon Jamaica by Washington. The note explicitly named a high-ranking Jamaican cabinet minister as the originator of the proposal. It claimed the plan was pitched during a counter-cartel conference at the U.S. Southern Command in Miami. That minister was Ambassador Audrey Marks. The leak implied she had actively approached the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and offered Jamaica up as a processing center for up to 10,000 migrants. The public outrage was nuclear. Jamaicans in New York, Miami, and at home demanded to know why. Why the Jamaican ambassador acting as an architect for the US deportation strategy? On July 1st, at the Terranova Hotel in Kingston, Audrey Marks broke her silence. And this is where our political thriller takes its sharpest twist. Marks hit back aggressively, stating, and I quote, "I can't dictate US policy," end of quote. She claimed the media and the opposition were widely catastrophically conflating two completely separate documents. She revealed that back in March 2025, anticipating a brutal, aggressive shift in US immigration policy under the America First agenda, she authored a broad cooperation proposal. Her goal? To protect Jamaica from the fallout of a massive US labor shortage. She knew that if the US cracked down on undocumented workers, massive industries like agriculture and hospitality would collapse. So, she pitched an aggressive expansion of the legal temporary work program, asking the US to lift the cap on Jamaica's H-2A and H-2B visas from 20,000 workers to a staggering 200,000 workers. She also proposed a nearshore talent residence hub to return Jamaica into a tech base for giant companies like Google and Amazon to house their highly skilled international workers who could no longer get US H-1B visas. It was a brilliant economic play. But behind closed doors in Washington, the US took that proposal, flipped the script, and attached a condition. If you want the economic benefits, you have to help us clear our transit backlog. So, what is the actual reality of the signed deal? Let's look at the hard, non-negotiable facts delivered by the Ministry of National Security to see exactly what Jamaica agreed to. It is strictly limited to 25 people every 2 weeks. If more than 10 people are left sitting on Jamaican soil within a 30-day window, the entire transit operation instantly pauses. A hard maximum stay of 7 to 14 days per person before they are flown out. No criminals allowed. Every individual must be fully vetted by Jamaica's National Intelligence Bureau. And clear, strict health screenings. Jamaica retains the absolute right to reject anyone at the border. The United States government is legally required to fund 100% of the accommodation, security, and transport through the International Organization for Migration, the IOM. But immigration experts like attorney Winston Tucker and Wayne Golding, well, they are warning that this is an incredibly dangerous game. They are saying that if these migrants land on Jamaican soil and immediately apply for political asylum under international law, Jamaica could find itself trapped in an endless, expensive legal ant's nest. Furthermore, Jamaica isn't alone in this. The US has quietly orchestrated this exact same regional web across the Americas. Panama, Costa Rica, Belize, Antigua, and Barbados have all signed the exact same framework. Washington is effectively outsourcing its border crisis to the Caribbean. So, we return to our ultimate question. Did the US secretly buy a piece of Jamaica? The answer is no. The sensationalized internet rumors of 10,000 random deportees flooding the streets of Kingston are flatly contradicted by the strict, ironclad 25-person cap written into the MOU. This is a highly restricted, heavily monitored transit agreement. But here is the real issue, and the reason the Jamaican public has every right to be furious. By not preempting the Gleaner's breaking news. And we all know the Gleaner is not a government sympathizer. Well, not this government anyhow. And allowing the true details to leak from foreign diplomatic sources first, that kind of create intense distrust among the citizens. Right? That's a fact. But the facts are on the table. what do you think? Is accepting 25 transiting migrants a reasonable diplomatic favor to secure billions in U.S. security aid, anti-gun trafficking intelligence, and 200,000 legal work visas for our people? I am just asking. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, subscribe, share, and like the channel. Until next time, stay on the journey with us. This has been Dear Jamaica, We Need to Talk. One Jamaica, one country, standing tall, under God. Stay tuned until next time.
Jamaica, here we call. One people, one nation, standing tall, under God, strong and free. Jamaica, the land we love.